George the Tech.
This is Adobe Audition 2022. Now 2023, because 2023 was literally just launched a few days ago. Crazy timing, right? But this is just the basics, really. This is for folks who are brand new to recording DAWs or digital audio workstations, um, or new to Audition itself and are coming from other recording softwares. Or maybe you've been using Audition a little while, but still want to kind of, you have a very basic functional knowledge, and you want to feel more in command of the system. This is definitely for you. So we'll recovering today, um, an introduction to Adobe's Creative Cloud. What the heck is it? Um, is how do you get software updates, things like that. I'll show you where the Adobe community site is, which is a really good place to be asking technical questions about your software, things that are getting you confused or maybe giving you trouble. How to get a new version of Adobe Audition, or even get it for the first time ever. Installing Adobe Audition for the first time, and how to keep an old version if you're getting a new version, which I think is pretty important because sometimes new versions bring along their own little quirks. So having the old one still there is nice. Um, we'll go briefly through what's new in Adobe Audition 22, also known as version 2022, which actually was released about a year ago. So that was up until just recently was the most current version. That was released in October 2021. Then we'll go over, if there is anything new to report, we'll go over what's new in Audition 23, also known as 2023. That's the version that's currently out. We're also going to talk a little bit about version updates, maybe a few new things that are released prior to Audition 22, because there seemed to be more new features of note in the prior version, which confusingly was called version 14. They're now going with year model numbers instead of arbitrary numbers for versions. We'll talk very briefly about using Adobe Audition in Rosetta mode on all of the new Macs. That's a new thing that was supported. Um, Running Audition in native Silicon Mac mode came out in May 21st, May 21 in version 14.2, but you may still want to run Audition in what's called Rosetta mode, and I'll explain why. Configuring your audio hardware, other helpful settings in the preferences section that you might want to look at. Just learning the user interface of Audition, why it looks the way it does, how you customize it, and things like that. The workspaces feature, which lets you create basically preset layouts of what you see in Audition and how it's laid out. We'll look at the waveform editor, which is where most of you are going to spend almost all of your time, because it's the quickest, fastest, easiest way to record and edit a voiceover track or any kind of audio track, whether it be mono or stereo. Multi-track editor, I'm going to very briefly introduce that. That's going to be covered in a lot more depth in the advanced Adobe Audition course. Handy keyboard shortcuts, super key to being efficient and fast on Adobe Audition. Recording settings you should know about. What file format should you be recording in, by the way, because it's got a lot of options there. Recording audio and setting levels with the meter. How to use the meter properly to set your microphone gain levels. The basic editing tools that are in the waveform editor. The feature called Mix Paste, and how it's so amazing as a way to sort of magic erase flaws in your room tone, wherever you have big breaths or mouth noises or background noises between words, how we can sort of make them disappear, but by using room tone, not by deleting or silencing the audio. We'll get a good intro on what the effects rack is, what it does, and how important it is. And then we'll make sure we know proper file formats for saving to MP3. So let's get to it. And I'm going to be referring to Audition constantly. So this isn't just me talking with the slideshow. We're going to actually be switching over and looking at Adobe Audition all throughout the webinar. So I saw somebody mention, should I keep Audition open to follow along? Only if you've got multiple displays and you can manage all of that, but I don't think you probably want to do that. I think you want to focus on the content, what I'm explaining and what I'm demonstrating, and then later on review the recording to help you through stuck spots where you might get stuck while you're actually using Audition. But yeah, unless you have a dedicated screen for the webinar, it could get messy trying to manage everything at the same time. So let's take a look at Adobe's Creative Cloud. So Creative Cloud is the way Adobe Audition, or Adobe in general, not Audition specifically, but Adobe in general, manages every feature of Adobe. So when you go to adobe.com, and I'm going to bring that into my presentation window. Let's try that again. Adobe.com. There we go. There it is. Bingo. So when you go to adobe.com, well, I'm already logged in, so it knows who I am, right? But normally you would see this currently as of this webinar. Of course, this homepage is going to change all the time, right? As they add more features and just change design. But when you go to adobe.com for the first time and you want to get started with Adobe Audition, you have to have an account. So you have to create your Adobe Creative Cloud account by clicking Create an Account. So you would go through the process of filling out your email and password and create your Adobe Creative Cloud account. I'm going to log into the account that I already have, but you could create your own account from scratch. Now I have a password manager I use on my computer. It's called LastPass. And so that lets me quickly and easily auto-fill in my user and password, which makes my life a lot easier. I highly recommend using a password manager if you have the capability of doing that. Okay. So once we log into the website, now we can go looking for the app we actually need. Now you'll see there's plans, because what Adobe wants you to do is obviously get the whole cloud, which gives you access to all the apps, the entire world of Adobe Audition, Adobe in general. Sorry, I'm on one track mind with Audition. This gives you access to the entire library of applications from Adobe. And as you can see, the individual prices of individual apps adds up to way, way, way more than the entire cloud package for $55. So if you are multifaceted and you do more than just voiceover, you also do some desktop publishing or some design, graphic design, some video editing, and you want access to more tools, you might want to go all the way up to Creative Cloud. Essentially, if you need more than 2 of their apps, like Photoshop and Adobe Audition, if you need more than 2, you're just going to go right up to the full Monty, getting the whole Creative Cloud. But for the purposes of what we're doing today, you're really just interested in an Audition. So you would just go to where it says Buy Now. And this is where you would sign up to get to start adding this to your account. And as you can see, it runs on a $20.99 a month fee. And you can actually cancel before 14 days with no penalty at all. That would give you like basically a 14-day free trial and get your money back. If you cancel after, there will be a service fee. So I guess they're doing that to prevent you from just buying it and then deleting it and getting your money back every time you need to use it. So, but it's still it's done by month. So if you